Welcome to Triple C Film Reviews, searching for creative, cross-cultural, and constructive connection through film. I'm your host, the Surfing Violinist. So today we're going to be reviewing a film called Kung Fu Yoga. It's a Jackie Chan starring film and directed by Stanley Tong, who also directed one of my favorite martial arts films, Rumble in the Bronx, of course, featuring Jackie Chan. What caught my eye about this film was this dude right here, Sonu Sood, who happens to be a Bollywood star. I first noticed him in the Salman Khan film Dabangg. He played the villain. And so to see him in a cross-cultural film, India meeting China, I thought it'd be kind of an interesting movie. Bollywood meets Chinese Kung Fu film. So I thought it would be interesting to try out. Kung Fu Yoga did really well at the box office, but I don't think it's one of those movies we're going to remember for a really long time. The CG in this movie is painfully bad. Like, the whole opening is basically a cartoon. I don't see it being a film with a lot of international appeal. I think it did really well in China. Maybe some people watched it in India, but I don't even think the Indian box office it did that well. So yeah, unfortunately, this is a forgettable film with a lot of problems with the computer graphics and just feels cheesy when it needs to be campy. I'm all for campy movies. I love Shaolin Soccer, Kung Fu Hustle, and I feels like this movie is kind of trying to be that kind of movie, or Rumble in the Bronx, but it's not, and it's just trying to be too many things. It feels like a masala film. It does feel like a masala film, but honestly, most Bollywood movies that are masala films that do their job well do better than this movie. There's just no real stakes, there's no real emotion. It's just kind of all on the surface. It is a very cross-cultural film, Kung Fu, yoga, China, India, but even the cross-cultural bits feel a bit rushed. It is a very constructive film. Jackie Chan always tends to be focusing on peace and unity. You know, he is the fighter, but usually he's being pushed along, and he doesn't fight until things come to head and somebody's really getting hurt, you know, and he wants to jump in and intervene at the last minute because he really is a peaceful kind of person, and he's trying to use his kung fu in a way that brings about peace. So there is that constructive element, but it gets lost in the silliness of the very bad special effects and just the odd dialogue. The film also feels like propaganda at times. It's almost like the Chinese government hired Stanley Tong and Jackie Chan to make this film to kind of ease strained India-China tensions, and you feels like that because they actually say something one time. It sounds like a government program. Oh, this would line up well with the blank blank accord or initiative or something like that, and you're like, what is that? And so it just feels like the government is trying to be like, hey, you know, crank out a movie. We you know, kind of having some struggles with some India-China relations. Let's just make this movie to make it all better. So my review in a tweet: Chinese blockbuster meets Bollywood meets Indiana Jones. Kung Fu Yoga is silly when it needs to be campy and relies too much on CG. Kung Fu Yoga gets a meh on my emoticonometer and 2 out of 5 stars as a campy mainstream kung fu adventure film. If there's a film you would like me to review that would fit the creative, cross-cultural, and constructive bill, do let me know in the comments below, or you can email me at thesurfingviolinist@gmail.com. I've got a bunch of South Indian films that are on the list. Those will be coming up. Next up, though, is Shin Godzilla. It's a critically acclaimed Godzilla film. I was a big Godzilla fan as a kid, so I'm pretty excited about that. And until next time, keep your eyes open for creative, cross-cultural, and constructive connections for film. And again, if you find some that fit that description, do email me at thesurfingviolinist@gmail.com with your recommendation, or you can comment below. Thank you.